Hello boys and girls. Today we're going to be looking at estimation and mental math. So when we're estimating, often we do this in the grocery store when we're shopping for groceries and we're thinking about prices. We might see an item, for example, that excuse me, is $3.69. And in our mind, we might round that up to about $4. So when we're doing an estimate at the grocery store, it's helpful for us to keep on budget and keep track of how much money we're spending. Okay, so let's look at an example of using mental math. In this example, a cupcake bakery is selling cupcakes, and the first day they sold 58 cupcakes, and the second day they sold 49 cupcakes. And we want to get an estimate of about how much that would be, how many cupcakes did they sell. So the first thing we can do is think about 58 and ask ourselves, is that closer on a number line to 50 or to 60? Well, I know this would round up to 60 in my mind, so I would round 58 to 60. And then 49 I know would round, is it closer to 40 or closer to 50 on a number line? Well, 49 would be closer to 50. So I can add those together, and an estimate would be about 110 cupcakes were sold, would be my estimate at the bakery. And then to figure out the exact amount, instead of having to add it all over again, one way we can think about it is that 58 is exactly 2 away from 60. So that means that we rounded up by 2. So let's track that number. So we know we added 2 extra to get to 60, and we added 1 extra to get to 50, because 49 is 1 unit away from 50. So if we add those together, we get 3. So we know that we added 3 extra. So with our estimate, 110, we can just subtract 3 from our estimate, since we added 3 too many, and that would give us 107 as our exact answer. So let's look at another example. This is a pumpkin patch that sold 103 pumpkins the first day, and then 99 pumpkins the second day. And sometimes, boys and girls, it's helpful just to round one of the numbers. In this case, it's easier to round the second number because it's so close to 100. We know 99 is almost 100. So we can think of this as 133 plus 100, which is 233, to get our estimate. And to find our exact answer, we know we added on an extra 1. We're 1 unit away from 100. And so since we added an extra 1, we just need to subtract 1 unit from the estimate to get the exact. So our exact answer would be 232. So you don't always need to start all over and add. By regrouping, you can think about your estimate and adjust using compensation. Okay, so sometimes when we're working on estimation, there are word problems, and we're going to look at a word problem, and there's key words that tell us we're going to be rounding and estimating. So estimate is one, about, approximately, okay, nearest. You can look at some of the others and pause the video and study some of those other words that are signal rounding or estimation. So here's a word problem, like an everyday real-world problem. Students at Nelson Elementary collected 4,005 box tops during the first month of their book drive and 1,782 box tops during the second month. About how many box tops did they collect in all? And then exactly how many box tops did they collect in all? So the first thing we want to do is gather our important numbers we know that Nelson Elementary students collected 4,005 box tops the first month, and that number is closest to 4,000. If we're rounding, we would want to keep it at 4,000 because it's closer to that than to 5,000. And then the second month they collected 1,782. So if I think about that, is 1,782 closer to 1,700 or 1,800? Well, if I look next door in the tens place, there's an 8, so I'm going to round up to 1,800. And when I add those together to combine them, I will get 5,800, about 5,800 box tops as my estimate. Okay. And then to find my exact answer, I will need to add, so move this out of the way here, I'll need to add the numbers together and line them up digit by digit. So my exact numbers were 4,005 box tops the first month, 1,782 box tops the second month, and to get my exact I will just add the ones, add the tens, add the hundreds, add the thousands, and my exact answer is that they collected 5,787 box tops exactly. And we would say box tops. And I want to always check to see, is my estimate close to my exact? It should be close. So 5,787 is very close to 5,800, so this answer is reasonable. Okay, lastly we want to look at adding. When we have multiple sets of numbers, maybe we're finding the perimeter of a garden and there are multiple sides to the garden, we need to add them all together. It's helpful to look for easy combinations. So there's different ways that we could add. We could add here by looking at 6 plus 5 and adding that first. Or we could do 5 plus 4 first. But we want to look for combinations where we can make a group of 10. And I know I can move these around according to the associative property. So 5 and 5, boys and girls, will make 10. So I want to make a combination of 5 plus 5 because that gives me 10. I also know that 6 plus 4 equals 10. So when I add those mentally in my mind, I can quickly find that 10 plus 10 is 20 and my answer is 20. So sometimes combinations, easy combinations, can help you do math quickly in your head. Okay, and then here, again, we have two-digit numbers being added together, but we can still look for some easier combinations. So go ahead and think about, would I want to add 6 plus 1 first, or 6 plus 4, or 6 plus 9? Go ahead and pause the video and think about what's the best combination in the ones place for adding these numbers. Okay, hopefully you saw that the best combination is 6 plus 4 because that equals 10, boys and girls. Also 9 plus 1, and we can make a new 10, which this will equal 20, so we can make a new group, move that over, so now we have 2 10s, which is 20, 2 new 10s, and there's 0 1s left over. And then the same with the other side. I can look for easy combinations, or in this case I know 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 1 would equal 10, and then I just need to add on 2 plus 2. So 10 plus 4, since 2 plus 2 equals 4, that gives me 14. Okay, so my answer here would be 140. So hopefully today you've learned some new mental math strategies for estimating, and we will see you in class tomorrow.